Hello everyone. Today I will share to everyone some information about tea. This is content of the information I want to show to everyone. The first one is about history. The second one is about place of production and consumption. And the last one is some characteristics, function, and processing. And the last one is some applications. And for me, I think this part is very important to everyone to want to find more about tea because in here we have can know more about how can they separate tea, how can they choose tea, about the taste, every function, anything about tea. Okay, let's go to the history of the tea. About history of the tea, for legends we see in 2730 BC. Han Nong's king finds tea from China, and about some research, we have the Chinese people find tea in Yunnan Plateau, China. In 1823, or Bruce finds some Assam tea. Tea in Assam place in India in Assam. And right now we can know more is about the Assam tea. Assam tea. It's just about some history of the tea. You can find more history about the tea in Google and in social media, just like this. About the place of production and consumption. In here we show about the productions, and you can see in this picture show about top 10 tea producing country, and we can see in here China. China is um, the best in producing produce tea to export to other country, and we see in Vietnam. Vietnam is grade 6. Let's move to tea consumption. Consumption, we can see in the Turkey. Turkey is the first one to consumption tea. Now we move to some characteristic function and processing. And in some characteristic, we can separate by varieties, classify, and composition, and some function and processing. So let's move to some characteristic. About varieties. Here you can see some names of Camellia sinensis. Camellia sinensis is a tea. It's just about tea. We can have some name about India, China, Russia, Africa, Italy, England, and United States. Uh, this picture shows summarize schematic diagram showing species relationships within genus Camellia. We see this Camellia is the tea. We have a very variety of type species in here. It's just tea, and this one is you see Assam, right? And the next one is a classified tea, about tea varieties. Tea classified. We can see in here we have a lot of methods to separate tea. The first one is about tea variety. Variety we can see in China, as well. In China, in India we can see the Assam, right? And in each country have another tea. In here you can see in China you have a is a synesthesis have a cold resistant, and in here it's just a fast growing mid high temperatures. This other characteristic. Some local speciality. For example, we have Yunnan, Yunnan, North Indonesia. It's just like this. And it's about separate by tea variety. Tea classified by tea variety. And the next one is fermentation level. This one we see a lot of people show us some information about tea classified by fermentation level. And in here we have six types. The first one is green tea. The fermentation level is about 0%. And the second one is yellow tea, white tea, oolong tea, black tea, red, or black tea is darker. Here is that I have a different about the fermentation. This one is fermentation before dry, and the last one is after we dry. So after we dry and fermentation, so after that we just make it to fermentation. Otherwise we separate by appearance is a powder, loose bricks, flavor, no flavor or processing is a CTC, crushed tear coat or orthodox. This picture shows some the characteristic about tea variety. Tea variety, for example, we see the tea leaf, the character of China tea leaves or India tea leaves. This one is a Shan tea leaves. Okay. Classified by fermentation level. I told you before, so this one you see. The tea, we have a no fermentation and fermentation. No fermentation is green tea, and otherwise is white tea to dark tea. And you see the degrees of fermentation from low to high. And this picture, I really like this picture because they show us the relationship between the fermentation and fermentation and something color of the tea breed. You see some characteristic. This one showed about unfermented, and this one is over fermented. You see, if you unfermented, it's a green tea, so you have a green in color, too long. And when we fermentation increase, so you see this one, formation of theaflavins and thearubin. Two, this one is make taste, color. It changes about taste and color. Two, you see something? Make coppery brown in color. And this one is optimally fermented and over fermented. What happened? The formation of TF and decrease of TR. You remember this one is after over fermented formation TF formation theaflavins, but what happened? Decrease degradations of a TR So this one you see have a too soft and dark red in color. Okay, it's really nice when you concentration or see this picture. This is about fermentation level. The next one is classified by appearance. appearance, we have tea powder. Powder, we can see this is about a matcha. It's really hot in the industrial right now. It's matcha, and this one is a whole jar. So this one is about the tea powder, and the next one is a loose tea. The loose tea, you can separate a lot of part of the um, part is a leaf grading. This depend of the part you want to chew blocking. And we can see this one is flowery orange OP, OP, FOP, OP, P, PS, Pokey Sultry, S, C, just like this. Okay, some blue tea like this, and when you see the leaves grading, we can find the cost, the price of product. Order the element is tea variety. We can from this one to take the cost. Because why? Because from this one, when you calculate from level B to B, the cost will, the price will decrease. So when we buy flowery orange pocky, is always expensive. It's more expensive than raw, right? And the next one is a tea brick. Tea brick is just for to black tea, dark puer tea. Dark puer tea. In the next slide or after slide, I will show more to everyone about tea bricks. And you see, the tea brick, you see the appearance. It's just the same brick, right? Okay. This one is classified by appearance. We just see about powder, loose tea, and tea brick. And the next one about flavor. Industry right now has a lot of the flavor we can see in the tea. We can see it in the tea. And when you have flavor, we can make from something is real. It's from real tea. Sorry, real flour or material. And it's not real. It's industrial flavor. And right now, and right now, I think to in decrease the price, of product to sell to sell the more used industrial flavor because it's cheaper and easy to make. When we think from real flour, we have used a lot of people, man, machine. You know about five man, machine, method, something have a lot of is a five in here. Five elements in here. It's it's make the costs increase. So this is just the for for good for best customer. and commercial or original customer, they just use the material to make milk tea, to make the drink, to do anything. They just want to choose the tea is cheap, so they use more about this one. And you see this picture shows us about the original tea. Original tea is no flavor, which is about the tea themselves and the flavor tea. And you see mint tea for mint, saffron, lemon tea, pineapple, everything. And you see in here it shows us something, a TV show, a TV show flavor. It's not really. It's not from the. It's just a TV show flavor. Yes. This one is about tea classification is about flavor. And the next one is about the processing. And the processing you see is a CTC or Orthodox. And other processing, you can see other type of the tea. And you see CTC, you see something has special in here. Every has is a ball size. It's just the same the ball. And Orthodox, it's just a leaf. It's just something leaf we see in here in previous slide of a leaf OP FOP just like this. This is Orthodox tea, and this is all about tea classification, about tea varieties, fermentation, level, appearance, flavor, and processing. Alright, now we move to compositions of the tea. In the fresh tea leaves, green tea leaves, we have 75 to 80% is moisture, and other is solid. And in solid, we have something non-solid or in water and solid in water. So non-solid is just solid in oil and non-solid in oil. You see some position in here. And from the composition of the tea, we can have some more function ability to health, to mental health. This is some compositions of a tea in here. We have the percent. The percents in here, yeah. Out of that, we can see some. This one is polyphenol. Polyphenol is very good to our health. Uh, from the composition, so have a lot of good ingredients, so they have some function. You see, it's some catechin, caffeine, vitamin C, vitamin E, no butyric acid have some function in here. Flavonoids, a polysaccharide, fluorine, vitamin E, and theanine. This picture showed um, the function of the tea, so we can know more about that. Okay, now we move to the processing to make tea. We can separate by processing by fermentation level and processing. We just see in the previous video about fermentation, we have six types. So we can find some information about six types, processing to make six types of tea in here, and the processing to make CTC and Orthodox. About the fermentation levels, green tea. Green tea. Green tea, the first one is the the farmer will harvesting of the tea leaves, and that one is withering of the tea. You need even in the house or in outside. And then we need to steam. So what is the function of the steam? Because we said is green tea is not fermentation, right? So we need to steam um make the uh, polyphenolase enzyme will be not make anything to make the fermentation is 0%. It's just approximately 0%, and then we rolling and shaping, oxidizing of teas, leaves, and drying to decrease the moisture. And the last one is green tea. About yellow tea. A yellow tea just this. The first one is just withering, fixing, swirling, and sea yellow, and peeling, fermenting. Fermenting. It's just to control the fermentation, for fermentation, and after that to drying to decrease moisture. And the last one we have the yellow tea. White tea. White teas, we will harvest, watering the tea, and then steam too, and that's try to decrease the moisture. And the last one you have the white tea leaves. Oolong tea. Oolong tea, oolong tea has a different appearance. You see, it's just the same. The ball tie is a big ball tie. How can they make the big ball tie? You see, we have a rolling will you make the orange have a ball size like this. And if you want to separate or to 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 find more about a long grate, we need to sieving to do something. When you're sieving, for example, this one is sieve, something in here. So when the cheese oolong tea smooth out is on the sieve, just like this, is a good product. So have a good price. And when go down to the next seating, and we have some more seating, and just the same the tea leaf in the previous video. So just move. For example, move. Is it fanning, crushing? So the price will decrease. So if you, for me, if we want to drink it, drinking, just brewing and drinking, so we use this one. It's a multi. And if you want to make a drink, the material to make a drink in industrial, for example, milk tea industry, um, milk tea industry, or tea, lemon tea, everything tea industry. We can use this one to something to decrease the cost of material. Otherwise, otherwise we can, because this one is very small, so we can use us, for example, one tea for 40 ml water, hot water, just like this, it will decrease the price in processing. The solid, the efficiency of solids is increased. It's about processing to make only black tea. And the same black tea it is about have different about fermentation, about a percent of fermentation. And after a while we try to decrease the moisture. And braiding just the same, sieving to increase the price of product. It's black tea. About black tea or dark tea, Pu-erh tea, is a more, you see, have a different, have big difference between dark tea and black tea in the in previous video. You see, this one is an enzyme inactivation. In this processing, they don't want to make enzyme do. They don't want to enzyme activate before. They want to do something. They want to make enzyme inactivate and to make the moisture decrease. And after that, what happened? Increase the moisture. Increase the moisture and the quality lucidity, and they want to compress to make the brick on like this. And undry purity compress, drying and purity. You see, this is high fermentation. High fermentation is after the right purity. So they will in enzyme activation. After that, sun dries in fermentation. It's not the same this one. It, this one we make to make fermentation before drying. Fermentation before drying. And this one we just have fermentation, but this is after and make enzyme inactivation first. You see, some different about that. About processing is a CTC crushed tear coat. The first one you can take a fresh tea leaves and then whippering and then rolling. Use rotovens and cutting. I don't want to cutting to make from this one. For example, like this. Okay, we'll cut, and move to CTC machine. In here, you see, have something. Cutting. They will cutting and rolling. In here, we have you see crushed, tear, and coat. This is in this processing will crush, tear, and coat to make the ball types. To make the ball type, small ball types, just like this. And after that, they need to fermentation. In fermentation and dry, and cooler bed dry, vibes extraction, and tea. And if we need to make CTC green tea, I think we don't need to fermentation, we just dry. It's about CTC tea. And the next one is Orthodox tea. Orthodox tea, we know more about something. I just show you about the processing before about black tea, oolong tea, white tea, yellow tea, and black. Sorry, yes, green tea. And this processing is just the same. It's rolling. Orthodox is rolling. Remember, Orthodox is uh rolling. But what happened in CTC? CTC is not just it just crush, tear and cold. Remember, CTC is crushed, tear and cold, and Orthodox is rolling, just like this. Because we have different like this, so we have the appearance of production is different too. About the applications. Mm, tea is a material to make a lot of food in the industry right now. You can see is a tea food, tea extract in medicine, tea cosmetics are the use of tea. And in tea food, we can have a tea snacks, a confectionery, or a tea staple food, or tea beverage. And this one for some tea food. We can use something. Yes, we can use some powder type to make some food. For example, matcha cake, potato cake, pancake, and like this. Extract, extract, some extract to increase the quality of the tea. Medicine and some cosmetic. Something else. Food in here. Some tea beverage. Tea beverage. We can connect more about milk tea. About the milk tea. Just the same. We need to make the material to brew, brewing and drink. And some about industrial. It's a material to make some industrial product. We see just the same ice cream tea, the iced tea, everything. It's just tea is just a material. And but it's not just more. It's not more. It's just about I think I can read in the ingredient of some product. It's just like a 4 gram for 1 liter. So it's not. Mm, so we choose. It's just one of the most important material to make. Okay. And this is the last few slides of information about tea. Tea. Thank you for everyone for watching and listening me. See you next time. If you have any questions, just type in the comment, and I will find some information and answer you. See you next time.